foot in this town, Begley. You're leaving Wichita.
This ain't legal, Earp.
There's nothing legal about you. Cold deck poker, watered whiskey, and extortion from dance hall girls. Now get on your horse.
I'll be back just as soon as Josh Clanton's elected the new mayor.
It'll be a cold day in July. Let's start riding.
And I say to you, there's but one real issue in this campaign, and that issue is a scoundrel by the name of Wyatt Earp.
That's right. Hey! Hey!
Only this afternoon, gentlemen, he set upon my friend, my comrade in arms, Sergeant Jim Begley, and with his usual high-handed and insolent manner, this man Earp ordered Jim Begley to leave Wichita. I tell you, my friends, this man Earp is the lowest type of thug. He's become the willing tool of Mayor Jim Hope.
Sure has.
And this unspeakable editor, Marsh Murdoch. And I promise you...
Oh, shut up, Clanton. Get off of that wagon.
I promise you, the moment that I'm elected, I'll fire Wyatt Earp.
Shut up, I said, and get down from there. We'll come up and pull you off.
I advise you not to try it, sir. I'm a veteran of the war, and I'm still young enough to...
Hold it, Mr. Grimes. You're interrupting the colonel's meeting.
But he called your names, Wyatt.
All right. You can call him one name. Go ahead.
Clanton, you're a dirty liar.
All right, Mr. Grimes. You can take your friends and leave the meeting. Go on. Sorry you interrupted, Colonel. Meeting's all yours.
As I was saying, when deliberately interrupted by Earp and his hired killers, I do not fear the man. Any attack upon me is an attack upon all Union soldiers, living and dead.
I don't understand, Wyatt. I was only trying to help.
I appreciate what you're trying to do for me, Mr. Grimes, but we gotta let the colonel have his say.
All right, Wyatt. But you tell Jim Hope he's liable to lose this election if he doesn't show up that blatherskite for what he really is.
Well, I think you're right. And I'll tell the mayor.
Tell Hannigan not to let that Clanton crowd keep our papers off the stands. Well, well, our hero himself, our plumed knight.
What?
Read my page 1 editorial. Jim Hope's meeting beat the colonel's crowd 2-1. As our late president said, you can't fool all of the... What's the matter? Don't you like what I wrote?
Well, it's a little too complimentary.
This is no time for modesty, Wyatt. It's a political
Look,
fight.
Mr. Murdoch, I like compliments, but I don't think defending me is the line to take.
You think our side is handling things wrong?
That's what I'm trying to say, yes.
Well, you won't stand up for your record. I have to. You want the Eagle to let Clanton lie about you without answering?
Yes, sir, I do.
Why?
Well, because praising me is only going to make the people that don't like me more determined to vote for Clanton. I'm not the main issue.
Oh, come now, Wyatt.
No, Colonel Clanton's the main issue. The kind of man he is and the hoodlums that are backing him.
I've got quite a file on Clanton. I was hoping I wouldn't have to use it.
Tell me something. You think Mayor Hope has got it won for re-election?
He draws the biggest crowds. He's got all the good people.
Sure, a goodbye election.
You can't be that pessimistic.
Look, Mr. Murdoch, all the nice people go to rallies and they cheer for Jim Hope. But 2/3 of the registered voters in Wichita live below the line. I think most of them, the way things stand now, aim to vote for Clanton. The only chance is to show up Clanton as such a skunk they won't be able to stand the smell of him below the line.
I didn't think they had any sense of smell left below the line.
Well, only a few of them are out-and-out hoodlums. The rest of them are good people that are just too easily bamboozled by a spotter like the colonel. If I thought it would save the mayor, I'd quit my job.
Now, Wyatt.
I guess it would just look like I was quitting under fire and make things worse for him.
It certainly would.
Well, it's your newspaper. You do what you want. I got my own work to do.
Wyatt, I'm convinced.
You'll open up in Clanton?
With both barrels.
Good. Load with buckshot.
Henry!
Here. Better let me help you with that, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. I'm not well. I came to see Dr. Fabrique. Isn't his office...
It's right there, man. Here. Take my arm.
Yes.
That's it. Now, can you walk?
Yes. I took too much medicine. Nothing else. Please, believe me.
Just take it easy, man. Of course I believe you. Watch that step. That's it. Doc! Doc!
Who is it?
It's Wyatt, Doc. There's a lady here that's very sick.
All right, all right. Oh, it's you, Mrs. Clanton. Take her in the office, Wyatt.
Just take it easy. Sit on this chair.
How much bromide did you take, Mrs. Clanton?
I don't remember.
Bromide.
Yeah, I give it to my patients to quiet their nerves. They keep taking it until they get themselves toxic.
Colonel Clanton's wife?
Yep. Drink this, Mrs. Clanton. I know you'll feel better.
Thank you, Doctor. Oh, I'm sorry, Doctor, getting you up at this time of night.
No, you'll forget about that, but you can't go on like this, you know. About the Colonel. When are you going to make up your mind to take my advice?
I can't do that now.
This lady shouldn't be alone. But I guess there's no use in trying to locate the Colonel.
Oh, no, you mustn't do that. I'm feeling much better. I'm not nearly so dizzy now.
But you still better let Marshal Earp drive you home.
Marshal Earp? Are you the man my husband says such mean things about?
Well, don't let it embarrass you, Mrs. Clanton.
It ain't her fault, Wyatt.
Doctor.
Now, you go along with the Marshal.
But I shouldn't trouble Mr. Earp. And it'll look odd if we're seen together.
It'll look a lot odder if you have another dizzy spell.
It's going to be no trouble at all, Mrs. Clanton. That's it. Good night, Doc.
Good night, Wyatt. Good night, Mrs. Clanton.
You should take the doctor's advice.
What do you know about that?
Nothing, Mrs. Clanton. What advice did the doc give you?
Dr. Fabrique wants me to leave my husband.
Oh.
Why did I tell you that? You can go right to Mr. Murdoch at the Eagle.
Well, I don't work for Mr. Murdoch, ma'am.
Meaning that you won't say anything about any of this? But why wouldn't you? You have every reason to get back at the Colonel.
Well, not that way.
I have no course but to trust you. Dr. Fabrique and you are the only men who've been kind to me for a long time. Will you let me drive the rest of the way myself? It's only a few houses.
Of course, ma'am. Oh! Look, Mrs. Clanton, it's none of my business, but...
Yes?
Well, things are going to get awful rough around here, and... Well, you're from New York, aren't you? Couldn't you go back there on a visit?
No, Mr. Earp. My husband's threatened to kill me if I try to leave him. Good night.
Have you read the Eagle yet?
No. I worked late last night.
Well, the pot's been a-bubbling in more ways than one.
Oh?
Just listen to this. A a snake-eyed windbag calling himself Colonel Joshua Clanton has had the unutterable gall to run for mayor of Wichita. Until today, the Eagle has let Josh rant and rave about his great feats of arms as commander of the 10th New York Volunteers in the Civil War. Now, it is time that the voters knew the real facts about this knave, poltroon, thief, and scoundrel. Who'd ever thought that Marsh Murdoch had it in him?
What else does he say?
Huh? Where did I find the place? Oh, the record shows that the fearless commander of the 10th New York dodged the draft until 1863. Then he and his dear friend, Jim Begley, were given the choice of prison or serving in the army. They were convicted of stealing food from the wounded in the Wilderness Campaign, and they were both dishonorably discharged from the 10th. But Wyatt, it's just getting juicy.
I wanted to talk to you about Mrs. Clanton, but I gotta go see Mr. Murdoch.
But this is the best part of it, Wyatt.
I'll talk to you later.
Hold your fire, men! Hold it! Let me attend to Murdoch, then you can wreck the place. Murdoch, I'm gonna horsewhip you.
Hold it! Stand back, all of you.
You're a brave man with your hired killer to protect you. Mention my name in your filthy sheet once more, and I'll shoot you down like a dog. Remember, Earp, you heard what I said. I gave him fair warning.
Take your men away from here, Clanton.
Next time, I'll come back alone. With a gun. Come on, gentlemen.
Never mind that, Henry. We've got an extra with a noon deadline.
Hey, you're fighting mad. That's good. Hey, you just better wear that.
For that coward?
Oh, I've seen men that are frightened turn to gunplay when they're cornered.
All right.
I'm dead serious, Mr. Murdoch. I kind of talked you into that rampage against Clanton. I want you to wear that at all times.
It'll make you feel better, Wyatt. I've got to send an extra to press. Talk about it later.
What's worrying you?
What I wanted to talk to you about before was Mrs. Clanton. She told me last night you advised her to leave her husband.
It's a private communication between a patient and her doctor.
Yeah? Well, Clanton threatened to kill her. That puts it in my department.
Josh ain't never had the nerve to kill anybody.
It's what Marsh Murdoch thinks. Look, Doc, this political row's getting out of hand. Maybe if I can talk Mrs. Clanton into calming her husband down, I can ride herd on Murdoch.
Well, Murdoch was always a meek and mild man to make a good editor. But now, just when he's dipping his arrows in poison, you want to ruin his whole career.
See, there's no point in talking with you.
Certainly ain't.
I'm gonna go over and see Mrs. Clanton.
Good. I hope the colonel catches you at it. Then we'll have some real shooting.
Doc, you have such a gentle soul. I'm Marshal Earp, man. Mrs. Clanton home?
Yes, but I don't think she'll want to see you.
Dora, who is it?
It's Mr. Wyatt Earp, and I already told him.
No, Dora. I'll talk to Mr. Earp.
Guess she changed her mind.
It's all right, Dora.
If your husband's home, I'd like to talk to both of you.
How had you the impudence to come here after this article in the paper?
What article?
I suppose you know nothing about it.
No, I don't.
It insinuates that my illness is a thing that should be hidden. That because I'm never seen with my husband, I'm a skeleton in his closet. It even insinuates that perhaps I drink. A fit mate for Private Clanton. A fraudulent warrior. Oh,
I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Clanton. I just can't imagine Mr. Murdoch printing a story like this.
is that so hard to believe when you went right to him with your story?
I didn't tell him anything about you. I didn't even mention that we'd met.
Then it was Dr. Fabrique?
No. No, he wouldn't answer any of my questions about you. Does the story mention the fact that you want to leave your husband, but you're afraid to because he threatens you?
No.
Politically, that's even a more damaging story than this.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry, Mr. Earp. I've been so heartsick about everything.
Well, I don't blame you. And Mr. Murdoch will print a retraction. I'll go right over to his office.
Marshal, Dr. Fabrique thinks you'd better come right away. Mr. Murdoch's been shot.
Who did it?
We don't know. It's in the lung, and Doc won't let him talk.
Was he in any danger?
Doc wouldn't say.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Earp. Really very sorry.
Has your husband been home today? I may need to talk to you later.
Yes, of course.
Marsh Murdoch, editor of the Wichita Eagle, was shot and superficially wounded at 7:15 last night by Jim Begley, a henchman of Private Josh Clanton. Begley was accompanied to the Eagle office by Clanton. Private Clanton tried to do the shooting himself, but lost his nerve, and Begley then drew his own weapon and fired. It was Begley, huh?
Yes. Will you get that story over to my office, Why?
You better get out of here. You're making his temperature go up.
If you don't stop shouting, you're going to make his temperature go up.
What?
Forget it.
Would you like a little nip?
I've been looking for you, Marshal. Colonel Clanton gave me his gun. He owns up that he did it.
Oh? You plead guilty to the charge?
Proudly. I shot Murdoch in defense of my wife's honor.
Take him to jail, Sam.
I demand an immediate hearing before Judge Jewett.
That's for Judge Jewett to decide, not you. Now go on.
I was only 19. He was a war hero, an older man, so I was an infatuated fool and married him. All he wanted was a young wife and the money my folks left me.
Well, he'll soon be a real hero. He shot my friend in defense of your good name.
But Mr. Murdoch said it was that Begley fellow.
It's just his word against your husband's. Unless I find Begley.
But that's terrible, Mr. Earp. Why, what does Josh Clanton care for me or my reputation? He's disgraced me with women. He keeps me like a prisoner in my own house.
Well, Mrs. Clanton, the voters don't know that.
Do you mean he might actually be elected mayor?
If he gets away with the lie of the injured husband, he can't lose.
But he's got to lose. I'll announce I'm leaving him. I'll tell the whole story of why.
It's too late for that now.
Oh, I never dreamed he stood a chance of being elected. I despised him so I thought surely the public would see him as I do.
Mrs. Clanton, I've got to find Begley. Can you help me?
Oh, I want to, really I do, but I know so little about the man. He brought my husband home several times late at night, but I wouldn't begin to know where to find him.
Well, if you do hear from Begley or hear anything about him, will you let me know?
Yes, of course.
Good night, Mrs. Clanton.
Can't you explain to Jim the legal rule that ties my hand?
He knows the law, Judge.
I'm only asking you to stretch it a little and not let that scoundrel have a chance to strut in court.
He's pleaded guilty. He's demanded an immediate hearing and sentence. And the law clearly states that I must give him his day in court to allow him to present extenuating circumstances that might lighten his punishment. It's no use, Jim.
Marshal, there's a lady here to see you. She wouldn't give me her name.
No, I think I know her name. You better let me talk to her alone.
We wait outside.
Send her in, will you?
Yes, sir. Would you come in, please?
Good morning, ma'am.
It's Begley. He's at the house.
Oh?
He wanted money, $500. I told him I'd have to go to the bank.
Good. You think you'll wait?
I was frightened of him, and he knew it. He's sure I'll come back with the money.
Good.
He has a gun, Mr. Earp.
That's wonderful. That's the best news of all. Draw. Go ahead, Begley. No, draw. I won't start until you got your hand on your gun.
You want to kill me? I ain't drawing. Earp, you gone loco? You wouldn't shoot me with my hands up, would you?
You shot a good friend of mine. Now get outside.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Mrs. Clinton. Guess I lost my temper.
You tell the truth, Val. Get him to the court. Hurry. You can take my rig.
Thank you, ma'am.
Murdoch called the woman I loved a drunker. Dr. Fabrique has testified that Mrs. Clanton suffered a nervous breakdown. She took sodium bromide by his prescription. Bromide, sir, a sedative, not an intoxicating liquor. My darling wife has never tasted even so much as a spoonful of wine.
Mr. Clanton, I take it that you're offering the plea of extreme provocation for this court to consider.
I make no plea, sir. I did what any decent husband would do.
Your Honor, Mr. Begley's got a statement to make to the court.
I shot Murdoch. Josh tried to, but he lost his nerve.
That's a lie, sir. A contemptible lie.
Will you repeat that statement under oath in this court?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Hold up your right hand.
This will go on page 1. The Wichita Eagle most sincerely apologizes to Mrs. Harriet Clanton and retracts in its entirety the story printed about her 2 days before the election. The Eagle bows its head in shame. During the heat of a political contest, the Eagle was careless in its facts concerning Mrs. Clanton and grossly unjust in its interpretation of those facts. The Eagle and its editor have learned a lesson we shall never forget. Is there anything else I can say, ma'am?
No, Mr. Murdoch. Thank you very much.
Mr. Earp is seeing you to the station.
It'll be my pleasure.
When Wyatt Earp was Marshal of Wichita, Kansas in 1875, one of the serious problems with which he had to deal was the runaway boy from the East. Hundreds of such youngsters, incited by lurid dime novels about cowboys, Indians, and outlaws, left their homes in eastern towns and cities for the wild, exciting life of the western frontier. If today's comic books have a bad effect on many juvenile readers, they are mild compared to the bloody sensationalism of paperback thrillers, which lured the youth of earlier times to seek adventure in the brawling violence of Cattle Trail and Cowtown.
My turn. Hold it! Take it up there! All right, hold it. Hold it. Get it! You know better than this. Get the gun! Come on. Come out of there! Come on. Back up. Back up. Get there. Get there. Get there. Get there.
little punk. Were you using real bullets?
I got me several of that Lazy H outfit.
Oh, you did, huh? Well, they all seem to be standing up.
You the sheriff, mister?
No, I'm the marshal. Who are you?
My name's Tim Jones, and I'm with the Bar W's. You know, we had our loading orders first, and then those Lazy H's tried to jump our claim.
You took a shot at me.
Oh, I didn't see your star. I thought you were Lazy H. I don't shoot at the law.
Oh, now that's real considerative.
Start back in the car, Mike.
Was he shooting?
Yeah, without a license. This one's sober. We'll take him back to town with the rest of them.
Does a cowhand get a fair trial in this town, or do they lynch him?
Your size, we spank.
Anybody get hurt?
No. They're too drunk to get hurt, most of them. I wish people would keep their kids at home. I got another desperate Desmond on my hands.
Runaway boy, huh?
Yeah. It's a wonder he didn't ping somebody or hurt himself.
This is the kids? This is the worst yet.
They're coming west by the hundreds. We've had at least a couple of dozen in the last few months. Can't you get something in Eastern papers about it?
I've tried, Wyatt. I think it's just normal kid behavior. In fact, they're rather proud.
Proud? Proud of what?
Young America, the spirit of the pioneers. You know the line.
Well, I've got something to show you. Sam! Sam, bring that young Tim Jones in, will you? Now, the spirit of the pioneers is fine. But I've yet to see a runaway kid with a hope. They all want to be gunfighters. That's those dime novels they read.
Ned Buntline and his Daredevil of the Plains.
Yeah, written by men that have never been west of Albany. I wish I could see what it does to some of their readers. Well, take a good look at it, Mr. Murdoch. Young America.
Hey, you the judge?
No, that's Mr. Murdoch. He happens to be the editor of the Wichita Eagle.
Hey, I don't want my name or my picture in the paper.
Well, don't worry, you're not that important. Now, go sit down. Where do you folks live?
Haven't any folks.
Who's your relative?
No relatives. Just write it down that I'm a cowpuncher working for the Bar W outfit.
The Bar W outfit doesn't hire kids. You jumped off a freight train. I don't want any more fresh talk from you. Now, we've got to send you home. Where is that?
None of your business.
Don't get sassy with Mr. Earp, kid.
Okay. I'm a homeless juvenile vagrant. I'm an orphan without any means of support.
Well, that's too bad. We'll have to put him out for adoption.
Yeah. Mr. Bodine at the dairy would like to have another orphan.
40 cows to milk twice a day. Only 3 kids to do it. Think you're tough enough for that?
Well, I want to be a cowhand. You know, ride the range, punch cows.
Well, you can milk cows at the dairy.
No, if my father were here, you just turn me loose.
And you do have a father, huh?
No, I don't.
Bend over the desk.
What?
You heard me. I said bend over the desk.
Oh, wait, I'll tell you!
All right.
My father's Timothy Jones Sr. He lives at the Fifth Avenue Hotel in New York City.
New York, huh? You've come a long way. I'll send a wire for you, Wyatt. Should be
Thanks.
here in a few hours.
My father will fix you for using corporal punishment on me. No one's allowed to do that. You're just a big country Jake sheriff.
And you're a spoiled brat. I guess you might as well start learning.
Learning what?
To be a cowhand, that's what you came west for, isn't it?
Yeah. Where do we go now?
We're going to a little cowhand school. I run it just for boys like you. Now, the first thing a cowhand has to learn is how to ride a horse.
I already know.
Oh, you do, huh?
Sure.
Come here. It's on this side.
Turn him loose.
All right, Mr. Jones.
Hurry.
Hurry. Hang it, Bill.
You all right?
Yeah. I'll show him.
No, I think you had enough.
I want to try him again.
All right. But this time, keep your heels out of his flank. Stayed on him that time longer, Callahan. You want to try him again?
No, that horse doesn't like me.
Well, we'll forget about riding for the time being. Callahan's got to learn how to rope.
That's a lasso. Give it here. I'll show you how to bust a steer.
Oh?
First, you tie one end of the rope around your waist. Then, you open the loop at the end like this.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's good. Now, you stay right here, and I'll go get a steer and let him out of the chute. You can rope him.
How big a steer?
Oh, just about your size.
Those aren't steers. Those are calves. Little doggies.
Well, you just go ahead and try and rope him.
I'll show you.
Mr. Jones, you're aiming at the wrong end. Come here. You go up and climb up on that fence over there and drop the loop over their head.
That's not the proper way to do it.
Well, it's the proper way for a cowhand on foot. Now, you go climb up. Go on.
Okay.
Are you all set?
Yeah.
I'll shoot one by for you. Come on, Dougie. Go on.
Ow, it burns my hands.
Untie the rope. Whoa, boy. Now, let's see. First, you tie the rope around your waist.
Well, I thought that was the way you
now,
did.
Look, you can't rope and you can't ride. What can you do?
I'm tired and I'm hungry.
Well, a good cowhand can always eat. But you're a little dirty. Gotta get you scrubbed up first.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
This water's too cold. I'll catch pneumonia.
It's good for you.
No! It's too cold. Oh!
Now, you know what that is?
It's a farm tool of some kind.
Well, in Kansas, we call it a hoe. This is what you do with it. Now, you try it.
Not me. That's hard labor.
No work, no eat.
But it has nothing to do with being a cowhand. They don't chop down weeds with hoes.
Yes, they do. They clean the corrals with pitchforks, too. They squat on dirty cows and burn their hide with a branding iron. Hard labor. Well, you ought to see what they look like after a week of riding in the brush and alkali dust on a roundup. They stink, Mr. Jones. I got no more time to waste on you. You go buy your lunch from the jailer.
Hi, Marshal.
Hi, Sam.
Message came a while ago from Mr. Murdoch.
Huh?
That New York business.
Oh, read it to me, will you?
No Timothy Jones registered at Fifth Avenue Hotel.
Thanks. Mr. Jones, come on in here. Now, we may be country jakes, but at least we try and tell the truth. They've even taken the word of an outlaw killer like Ben Thompson, and he kept it, but I can't take yours. There's nobody registered by the name of Timothy Jones at the Fifth Avenue Hotel. They've never heard of him.
All right, go ahead.
No.
I'd rather be spanked than listen to you call me a liar and no good brat.
All right, then. What's your father's real name?
I'm not going to tell you.
Why not?
You telegraph him, and then you send detectives after me. I'm not going home. I hate it there.
All right, you hate your home. I still have to know where you live.
Look, I obeyed you. I took a bath. I tried to stay on that horse. I got dragged by a dogie and I hoed weeds. It's more than I did for anybody else. Now I'm through with you.
Mr. Jones, sit down. You happen to be a runaway boy, and the law says it's my job to get you home. Do you understand that?
Can't do that if I won't tell you where I live.
All right. You take this note over to the clerk at the Texas house. Here's the key to my room. Get yourself a bite to eat, and you stay at the hotel. Tim, when I get off work, we'll have a long talk.
When'll that be?
8 or 9, maybe later. I'm trusting you to stay there.
I'll run away.
No, you won't.
I figured that.
Most kids want to be good. You can't be any different from the rest of them. Sure, you want to be a cowhand. You want to follow Ned Buntline's Wild Westers. But why run away from home to do it? Got plenty of time for that when you grow up. Why make such a secret out of where you live? Your father can't be that bad.
I'll see you at the hotel, Mr.
You sure you saw the kid go in here?
Yeah, he ate by himself, and then he went in.
Good evening. Railroad detectives. Hannibal and St. Joseph. What can I do for you? You got a lad about 14 years old staying here?
He's a nice-looking boy. He's about that tall. Brown hair, blue eyes.
Oh, yes, Timothy Jones. He's in care of Marshal Earp.
Timothy Jones? Where can we find him?
You better talk to Marshal Earp. He's usually here by now.
Thank you. We'll be back.
That you, Mr. Earp?
No, it's Mr. Davis, the clerk.
Oh.
2 railroad detectives were just here. They asked about you.
What'd you tell them?
I told them they should talk to Mr. Earp. But he asked me to make sure you stayed in the hotel.
Thank you, sir. I'll stay right here. Turn me loose! Mr. Earp will fix you.
The cow-tongue sheriff better keep his nose out of this.
Mr. Help me!
Hold it! Let him go. You keep out of this.
We're railroad detectives.
They're kidnapping me.
Well, I don't care who you are. You're under arrest.
Yeah? Hold it!
Kill them both, Mr. Earp.
You get back to the hotel and stay there. Go on.
Yes, sir.
All right, go pick up your friend. Go on.
You'll be sorry for this. That's Big Tim Callahan's son.
And who is Callahan?
You're president of the Hannibal St. Joe Railroad. You're in trouble, you stupid jayhawk.
Yeah? Start him over to Doc Fabrique's office. Hey, where's Callahan from?
Chicago. He headed here in his private car. Or did you refuse to let his men wire him?
No, they wired him.
Look, this is serious, my friend.
Look, I happen to think I'm right.
Morally, yes, but you rousted that kid of his around, buffaloed one of his men, and shot the other one. Lord knows what Callahan will accuse you of.
Hey, that reminds me.
What?
I promised to have a talk with this kid.
Now, wait. I think you and I should have a talk with Judge Jewett and Mayor Hope. This is more important.
Well, I happen to think that the boy is a lot more important than the old man. The boy's the one that's got the real trouble. You hate everybody, don't you? First you take a shot at me, and then you want those detectives killed, and now your father. What has your dad done to you that you're so willing to turn into a little tramp?
Everybody's against me. The old man most of all. So I'm against them.
Why do you think your father's against you?
You don't even know me. It's never home. He believes my stepmother. Everything she says is right.
Your stepmother's against you, huh?
She hates me. Every time my dad hires a teacher I get along with, she waits until Dad's on a trip and then she fires him.
Does your dad travel a good deal?
Most of the time. Then the servants keep me locked up in that big old house.
Well, that's not enough reason to go around hating people, Timmy.
It's not, I thought I wanted to be your friend once, but you're just like all the rest.
It's a RW outfit. You stay away from that window.
Those hoodlums won't shoot at Tim Callahan.
I don't care about you, mister. My team is worth $300.
I'll pay for the team. Go back to the barn.
All right, fine with me.
Look out, Dad!
When are you guys going to learn to work together, you fools? Put on your guns. Come on.
I'll take care of this. You and the boys hustle those men in. Go on. Let me see that arm, Timmy.
Who are you?
Now try and stand up. That's it. Just take it easy. What's it? Let me see. Now we better go see Doc Fabrique.
I'm Tim Callahan. This is my boy.
You almost ran him down. What are you trying to do, run those horses into gunfire?
Mind your own business.
Don't get sassy with Mr. Earp, Dad.
Wyatt Earp, I thought so. You're the Cowtown
Don't move
genius.
that arm any more than you have to. And just keep your right hand on it. Doc's office is just up the street.
Don't you ignore me. I haven't started in on you
Stop
yet.
jabbering. I'm going to start in on you. Now pick up the boy's hat and let's go. Come on, Timmy. Take it easy.
I'm the boy's father. You understand? I'm his father. So I arrive at Wichita, and what do I find? Excuse me. A gun battle waging on the main street, and my son Timmy right in the middle of it. Two of my detectives in jail. One of them seriously wounded by Wyatt Earp. And when I offer a mild protest, Mr. Earp threatens me. Is this the way you run things in your town?
Your detectives resisted arrest, Mr. Callahan, and your son refused to give his right name and address.
My time is valuable, and I'm not going to waste it arguing in a small-time court like this.
Oh, you're not?
I demand that Earp be dismissed immediately.
Your wishes are not law in Wichita.
All right. Then I charge Earp with cruel and inhuman treatment of my son, if you haven't any law against that. And then I'll bring suit against the city for civil damages. I'm going to sue you for $50,000.
Hold on. Cruel and inhuman treatment of a child is punishable under our criminal code.
Well, well. I'm astonished.
This court is not interested in your personal reaction. Have you any testimony to present against Marshal Earp?
I most certainly have. Mr. Becker and Mr. Dean tell me that Earp forced my son to ride a dangerous horse, that he tied him to a steer and allowed the steer to drag him around, and then forced him to hoe weeds in the jail yard for hours. These are the facts, Your Honor.
That's all wrong, Judge. It's not the way it happened. It's all a pack of lies.
Now, son, you keep out of this.
Order.
Step over here, young man.
Yes, sir.
Well, surely you're not going to listen to a mere child, an irresponsible lad who doesn't...
Sit down, Mr. Callahan.
Move over.
Sit down here, son. Now, Timmy, suppose you tell the court whether you've been treated cruelly or inhumanly by Marshal Earp.
No, sir, I wasn't.
Did he force you to ride a dangerous horse?
No, it was all part of the cowhand school.
Cowhand school?
Mr. Earp runs it for spoiled kids who leave home and think they'd like to be cowhands.
Oh, I see.
Well, the horse and the little calf, they were all part of the lesson. Hoeing weeds was part of it, too. But the best part is, after Mr. Earp gives you the acid test, he treats you like a man. He trusts you. He doesn't let servants lock you up or put detectives on your trail.
Then you have no complaint of the way you've been treated since you've been here?
No, sir. Can I stay here with Mr. Earp? Please, Judge. Couldn't Mr. Earp adopt me or something?
Timmy, you don't mean that.
Yes, I do. Mr. Earp doesn't hate me. I lied to him and acted fresh. But he doesn't hate me. That's all I want, just not to be hated.
Timmy, I don't hate you. I love you. Why would you say such a thing as that? All I've ever wanted to do is to protect you and keep you from harm. Mr. Earp, I don't know how to say this, but I hope you forgive me. I didn't mean what I said. Sometimes a man just doesn't quite understand.
With the court's permission, I think that Mr. Callahan, Timmy, and I can work this out together.
Very well. Court's adjourned.
I think this horse likes me now. That's the secret, huh, Mr. Earp?
Oh, secret is that you like the horse.
I sure do. As soon as my arm gets well, I'm gonna learn how to ride him just like Mr. Earp does. I think it's time Dad learned how to rope little dogies. Don't you, Marshal Earp?
That's right.
All right, Timmy. Just how do you go about roping one of them dogies?
Well, it's simple. First, you tie the rope around your waist.
This one?
Yes. Tie the rope around him, Mr. Earp.
Well,
okay.
Now, I'll let a little dogie out, and you sit on the fence, Dad, and then you drop the loop around the dogie's neck. Okay?
all right.
I'll let the little dogie out.
Right up here, huh?
That's right. Right up there.
Well, it seems very simple to me.
Oh, it is. It's very simple.
I'll get him the first time out. Turn that doggie loose.
To tame Wichita, there were 2 points of controversy which historians of the western frontier have argued since 1875. Was Marshal Earp justified in using the famous City Ordinance No. 27 to close crooked gambling joints and rowdy dance halls? And why did he permit Ben Thompson, a notorious gunfighter and killer, to operate a gambling game in Wichita while Marshal Earp's stormy cleanup campaign was raging to a murderous pitch of tensions and hatreds?
Come on, bring him out of there. Go on, there's plenty of bars up the street. You guys go that way and get on down.
Is that all of them? That's the last one of them, Mr.
Unsanitary, you call it. I washed my glasses as clean as any place in this town. You're just using that public health ordinance as a trick, and you're not going to get away with it.
Come on, keep moving.
That's a great idea, Wyatt. You're going to have all of Douglas Avenue hating you.
That's Judge Jewett's idea. See, when the saloon owners get too slick for me to prove crooked gambling, why, he's ordered me to proceed under Ordinance 27. Be a lot quicker.
Can you use it against dance halls?
Yeah, got to close one up the street.
The Dreamland joint?
Uh-huh. They've been importing immigrant girls and paying them almost no wages. Oh, but don't print that in your newspaper. They're kind of scared to testify.
I understand. The Orient Saloon and the Dreamland Dance Hall were closed today as unsanitary by Marshal Earp. He was ordered to take this action by Dr. Andrew Fabrique, City Health Officer.
Howdy, Marshal.
Hi, Mr. Finley.
I wasn't sure you'd remember me.
Well, I've looked at you over a gun sight once or twice. Mr. Murdoch, this is Jack Finley, friend of Ben Thompson.
Oh, yes. Ben Thompson?
How is Ben these days? He's fine, thanks. Oh, Marshal, I know you and Ben had several run-ins over at Ellsworth, but he don't bear you no grudge. And if you...
Why should he?
Well, what I wanted to ask you is, how do you feel about Ben? You saw it, Ben?
No.
Well, will it be all right if he comes into Wichita?
Sure. As long as he stays out of trouble.
I mean, what Ben wants to know is, he wants to buy into a game here.
That's no business of mine as long as he runs it honest.
Oh, Ben knows that, and he'll run straight as a strip. Is it all right if I tell him you said? Thank you, Mr. Earp. Thank you very much. I'll tell Ben. Oh, he'll sure be mighty pleased.
On the eve of a cleanup campaign that's going to cause you a lot of trouble, you say Ben Thompson can come into town?
Ben and I have settled our differences.
But he's a dangerous gunslinger, a killer, and...
Also a pretty honest man.
Oh, come now, Wyatt.
Well, he's always kept his word to me. I never did hear of him cheating at cards.
But you had a gunfight with Thompson. You sent his brother Bill to prison for killing Sheriff Whitney.
Now, look, Mr. Murdoch, a man in my line of business, well, he's got to let his old quarrels die. To be strictly honest about it, I always did like Ben Thompson.
That's good, Johnny, good. Get down around them cracks there and into them little crevices. Here, put some carbolic acid in that scrub water. And these glasses, I want them all dipped in scalding water. This place is going to be sanitary. Dave.
Yes, sir.
Where's the roulette wheel?
Well, it was set crooked. Dunphy's fixing it honest.
Good. No wonder Wyatt closed this dump. Well, didn't Jack tell you?
No.
Earp and I are friends.
But he's John Law in this town.
I love Wyatt almost as much as I love my brother Bill.
Yes, sir.
So spread the word. I'll have no talk against Wyatt from the men who work for me or the customers. And another thing, I thought I told you to tell these men how I stood with Wyatt. Dave didn't know.
I'm sorry, Ben, but you told me to check on all the opposition. In the rush, I might have missed a few.
All right. What'd you find out?
Plenty.
Now, you men keep busy. I want this place spick and span.
And I never listened to such mean talk. Wyatt's going to have a small war on his hands. Ain't nobody likes that ordinance number 27. Anyway, who can run a clean place in a town like Wichita that's all dusty and muddy? It just don't make sense.
Does to me. I told Wyatt he couldn't make that gun-checking law stick up in Ellsworth. But I was wrong. And if he says this town's going to be sanitary, he'll make it stick.
Well, anyway, all the opposition say that Ordinance 27 is just an excuse to give Wyatt the power of let run or close up.
You against Wyatt?
Me? Oh, now, Ben, you...
I'm going to tell you a thing or two. Now, Wyatt could have killed me in a fair draw and a fair fight, but he didn't. He could have had my brother Bill hanged, but he didn't. Now, Bill's up in the hospital in Denver. Got a chance to get well.
Well, you should have told us about that before, Ben.
I don't spill things until it's necessary. But when I'm loyal to a man, I go all the way.
Sure, Ben, sure.
Now then, just where do they talk the meanest about my friend Wyatt?
The Hotel Wichita bar?
You got about an hour to get the men ready.
Oh, Ben, trouble our first night in town.
When I'm loyal to a man, I go all the way. Now, I told you that. So get going.
Ben and Wyatt are friends, and I'm a friend of Wyatt, so I can see Wyatt anytime I like.
But lady, you
Oh,
can't...
lady, I hate that word. Oh, are you Wyatt, the best friend of Ben Thompson?
Well, I know him, yeah.
Like Ramon and Romulus. Oh, it is beautiful.
What's your name?
I'm Lolita Ryan.
More Lolita than Ryan, huh? Well, what can I do for you?
Oh, I think I'm going to have to hurt Ben's other girl. You are his dearest friend. You chase her out of town for me, please.
Well, you just better sit down. Now, let's get one thing straight. In the first place, I'm not Ben's dearest friend. In the
the second place, I let him reopen the Orient Saloon because he promised there wouldn't be any trouble and that he'd run an honest game. Another thing, I can't mess into Ben's private affairs, so if he's running around with another girl, you're just going to have to settle it with him.
You will not chase her out of town?
Nope.
Oh, but he doesn't like her very much. He only took up with her because he thought I was with my mom in San Antonio.
Well, you just go tell that to Ben.
Oh, but I did. And he said not to hurt this girl. He say you wouldn't like it. What am I to do? She's no good. She's one of the biggest...
Wyatt, Ben Thompson and his boys are headed for the Wichita Hotel bar with guns.
Go get Sam.
All right.
Miss Ryan, you control your temper.
Oh, but...
And you stay here, understand?
See?
And so, any time that you don't keep the joint clean enough to suit that big head, he can close you? Why, that's against the Supreme Court. Earp's got too big for his britches this time. He needs cutting down to size. Every man that is a man in Wichita ought to start...
Hold it, Morrison.
Howdy, Ben. I was just telling the boys...
I heard what you said. Does he speak for the rest of you, cowhands?
I sure do. How about you, Ben? You with us?
No. Now, any man that speaks against Wyatt Earp speaks against me. And I'm closing this place. It ain't sanitary. So everybody out. Come on. Oh. They was cooking up some devilment, so I'm closing the place. It ain't sanitary.
Look, Ben, when there's any closing to do, I'll do it. Now, you and Finley and the rest of the boys know you're not supposed to be wearing guns.
We under arrest? All right, what? Anything you say.
The rest of you go on back to your drinking.
Hold it. I'm gonna wait for the marshal. Okay, let's go. Come on.
Wyatt. Now, I don't aim to criticize, but I think you're being a mite overconfident about this sanitary business. There's trouble cooking.
Yeah, well, you better take care of your own trouble.
What do you mean?
A girl by the name of Lolita Ryan came to see me.
Lolita, she shouldn't come around bothering you.
Yeah, well, she did. She threatened one of your other girls.
Carolyn or Millie?
She didn't say. You better calm her down.
All right. I sure will, Wyatt.
And another thing, you and I are friendly. All right, that's fine, but well, we can't act too friendly, and people might misunderstand it.
I know. You're the law, and I'm Ben Thompson.
We'll keep it that way.
But Wyatt, I didn't shoot nobody back there or take that saloon apart. All I did was try to be real nice. And another thing, about that judge in the morning. Don't you worry none. If it's going to embarrass you, I'll just say you and me don't even speak.
Just don't say anything.
All right? Pay the fines for me and the boys, and I won't even look at you.
80, 90, 100. There you are, Judge, $100.
There's something about this matter that bothers me, Mr. Thompson. I have a note here from the owner of the hotel, Wichita. He says the trouble started because you resented certain remarks against Marshal Earp.
No, he's mistaken, Judge.
Well, how did the trouble start?
Well, there were these two cowhands, and they was telling it around that my place ain't sanitary. So I said to Jack here, I says, we better put a stop to that false slander. And isn't that right, Jack?
Yes, sir, that's right.
That sounds plausible. I couldn't believe that a man like you would risk a fine to defend Marshal Earp.
We ain't friendly. But I will say this, Your Honor. I don't believe that Marshal Earp should be walking around this town without his deputies the way he does. There's a young foolhead of a cowhand out gunning for him right now.
I can take care of myself.
All right, Wyatt. You're the boss. Good morning, Judge.
Just a minute, Marshal Earp.
Yes, sir?
Is Thompson right about some cowhand gunning for you?
Well, there usually is a cowhand who thinks he wants to gun me, Your Honor.
Yeah. Maybe you should have at least one deputy with you at all times.
I can't spare him. Spread too thin as it is. You just let Ben Thompson worry about me.
Start where you going. Go ahead, start, why don't you? Maybe you think I won't shoot, but I will. You closed my brother's place. You put him out of business. And now I'm going to...
I'm shot! I'm shot! Oh, shut up, kid. You ain't hurt bad. Maybe next time you'll believe me.
Wasn't gonna shoot Ben. He was talking too much. Dr. Fabric's office is just across the street. Go on over.
I'm bleeding! I'm bleeding!
Get out.
Am I arrested again?
Ben, you're not supposed to pack a gun on the street.
That kid, he was going to plug you.
Ben saved your life, Marshal.
Look, Doc Fabric is going to report a gunshot wound. I couldn't let you go if I wanted to.
Oh, but Marshal...
Shut up, Jack. All right. Let's go see the judge. Where you going? You weren't wearing no gun.
And on your way over, give this to Mayor Hope.
Yes, sir.
Well, what is it this time?
A drunken kid tried to gun me, Your Honor, and he shot him in the arm.
Huh? Thompson warned you. What's the charge?
Carrying guns in violation of a city ordinance and careless discharge of firearms.
What have you to say to this, Mr. Thompson?
Well, I reckon Marshal Earp was doing his duty.
Well, I don't. The man saved your life, and you arrest him for misdemeanor. Did you ever hear of gratitude, Marshal Earp?
Now, don't scold him, Judge.
I asked Marshal Earp a question.
Well, sir, I recommend that Ben Thompson be let off this time with a reprimand.
A reprimand? If you haven't the decency to thank Mr. Thompson, I will. This court expresses its gratitude for assistance rendered Marshal Earp and dismisses his asinine charges against you. You and Thompson aren't friendly. Yet he saves your life at the risk of his own. Greater love hath no man than that. You'd better learn some common humanity, young fella.
Yes.
Sure am sorry, Wyatt.
You played the hand the way you saw it. Oh, what have you done about this girl, Lolita?
Lolita. You know, I plumb forgot about her when I heard that young Jim North was...
Well, that's all over now. You just take care of that girl.
Yes, sir. Right away, Wyatt. Believe me.
I'm going over to the hotel, and I want you to send word over to me there that she promised to behave.
I'll marry her. Anything.
Good. Wait a minute. You can't marry her. You're already married.
Lolita don't know that.
That's bigamy.
Don't get sore.
Well, I'm not sore. It's just that I want you to stop making trouble around here. That's all. Another thing, don't go around saying that you love me like a brother. If you're going to say anything, say that you hate me.
Okay, Wyatt? Okay.
What's the matter? Not so loud.
She's after me. Shut the door.
Who's that? Come here.
Oh! She's really stop me. Oh!
Where'd you get
Here. It's bleeding. I can feel it.
Let's get to Dr. Fabric's office. And you stay here. You're under arrest.
I told you I'd get her. Let me go. You let me go.
Come on.
Ben's best friend. You take sides with that Millie Spencer. Fine friend you are.
Marshal Earp, what's all this?
Felonious assault, Your Honor. This is Lolita Ryan. She cut a girl with a knife.
Oh, next time I'll really cut her.
That'll do, young woman. How's the girl badly hurt?
Not too bad, sir. According to Dr. Fabrique, it's just a cut in the rib.
And where did this affray take place?
In Wyatt's room at the hotel, Judge.
Really?
She's
Oh, now, wait a
nothing but
minute.
a dyed-haired, blind crybaby. She ran into Wyatt's room to make trouble with Ben and me.
Ben? Not Ben Thompson.
Yes, sir. I told Wyatt last night he must make Ben get rid of this girl. But does he help? Oh, no. Ben must be loco. He picks a John Law for best friend.
Marshal Earp?
Yes, sir?
I was never under the impression that you and Thompson were friendly.
Well, we're fairly good
He
friends.
pretends to be Ramon and Romulus with Ben. He lets him come into Wichita and open up the Orient Saloon. But does he help him get rid of Millie? Or no? Look at me, Judge. If you were Ben's true friend, would you let Millie make trouble?
I haven't seen Millie.
Well, she's one of them.
Silence. Well, I guess we'll have to lock her up. Deputy,
Lock me up? For how long?
until tonight, we have no place for female prisoners to sleep.
Okay. You're a nice man. You tell Ben Thompson to get rid of that Millie. And as for you...
That'll do. Put her in the old courtroom and ask Mrs. McGee to keep an eye on her.
Yes, sir.
You take Millie. You can have her.
Come on.
I can make a fair guess as to what happened. You gave Thompson a break, and he kind of latched on to you.
Yes, sir.
Well, it can't go on, Wyatt.
I know it.
I'd explain matters in a nice way and suggest that he leave town.
Yeah, I guess that's the way it's going to have to be.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I just can't order him out of town, Judge. I mean, he's clean as far as the law is concerned.
But with his great devotion to you, he'll go as a personal favor, won't he?
Yeah, I reckon he will. I guess Ramon will just have to part with Romulus.
Wyatt's outside. Says he's got to talk to you.
Did he look sore?
He didn't look too happy.
That Lolita. She ought to be pistol whipped.
What am I going to tell Wyatt?
Well, tell him I'm here. I don't hide from my friends.
Oh, look, Ben. Lie to him just once. Tell him you ordered Millie and Lolita to get out of town. This is the best gambling spot we ever had.
I don't lie to my friends either. Now you get out there and tell him I'm here. Door is open.
I suppose you heard what Lolita did to Millie, huh?
You got a right to be sore, Wyatt. Real sore.
Being sore ain't the point. The point is it's liable to keep on happening.
You want me to leave?
It'd be a big favor.
You just think it would.
I know it would.
Sit down. Wyatt, tomorrow's Sunday.
There's no rush.
That ain't what I mean. You plan to go to church in the morning or in the evening?
I don't know. Why?
You aim to go at all?
Yeah.
Where are your guns?
I don't wear my guns to church.
Well, wear them tomorrow and watch behind every bush and tree. Look, Wyatt, I'm leveling with you. That dance hall crowd has brought in 2 men to bushwhack you.
Oh, that's just talk, Ben.
No, it ain't just talk. Now, that's what you said when I told you about that North kid gunning for you, too. And I saved your skin that time, but you're too big-headed to admit it. You're big-headed and you're stubborn. And you got some fool idea that you can handle everything all by yourself.
I've done all right so far.
So far. And you're good with a gun, sure, but you can't take on all of Douglas Avenue all by yourself. And these men tomorrow, they ain't going to give you a chance for a stand-up gunfight. They're going to cut you down as you walk on your way to church. Now, can't you get that through your thick skull?
Would you mind leaving on Monday?
All right. All right. I'll leave Monday, and you go right ahead and get your inside shot out, and I won't give a hoot. I won't even send no flowers.
Well, now you begin to sound like the old Ben Thompson I used to know.
I ain't your friend, and I never was.
Good. So long, Ben.
Goodbye. And have a nice long sleep on Boot Hill.
You and him have a row?
Yeah.
Say, that's great. He tried to order us out of town?
That chance he's got of making it stick, he'll be dead tomorrow. And I can stop it, too. But I won't. I'm not even going to lift my little finger. Let him die.
Hold on.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Murdoch. I see you've been working late again, huh?
I just heard a wild sort of a rumor, but it worried me.
The bushwhacker talk, huh?
Yeah. An ambush somewhere on this side of town.
Near church.
But if you knew about it, where are your guns?
Mr. Murdoch, I thank you for the warning, but if I was going to look for a hole every time some drunken cowhand said he was going to bushwhack me, I'd have to crawl underground like a prairie dog.
Yes, but look,
now, you go on home and get shaved. I'll see you at church.
Listen,
I'll
Wyatt.
see you later.
What if he wears his guns?
It won't do him any good if he does wear them.
Get set. Here he comes.
Wyatt, get down!
So long, Wyatt. You seen your pal? Thanks, Ben.
Last night's steak was the best I ever had, Wiley.
It'll get better.
I don't know how you do it.
Well, it takes a lot of practice. And a perfect memory.
Didn't anybody ever win from you?
Oh, a couple have tried. A couple have cheated.
I bet they were sorry.
Well, I wouldn't know. You see, they're dead now. But like I was saying, Mr. Brandywine, about a perfect memory. I not only remember every card that's been played, but I know right to the dime how much I took in for the house.
Well, I just counted it. It comes to a little under $870.
You better count it again. Exactly $300 off.
I don't see how I can make a mistake like that.
Oh, it's possible. I wouldn't have brought it up except that it affects my 20% commission. That's an extra $60 for me. If I were you, I'd count it again, boss.
No. I'll take your word for it. Let's see. 20% of 1170 is...
234.
Right. Here you are.
Thank
Morning, Mr. Brandywine.
What do you want, Marshal? I'm not open for business.
Well, I had a few complaints about your faro table, Mr. Brandywine.
Nobody can prove anything.
No, neither can I.
And you're wasting my time.
Well, ordinarily, I don't pay too much attention to these complaints, but when I heard that Max Wiley was working for you, I figured they made sense. Wichita's a nice town, Max.
That's right, Marshal. Real nice.
If you don't mind, I'd like you to leave it.
Just a minute, Marshal. You can't prove a thing that...
No, Marshal, I think I'll stay here. Like you say, it's a real nice town.
You know, Max, I had to arrest you once in Ellsworth. You served a long term, then I run you out of town, remember?
Mm-hmm, I remember.
Well, I can do the same thing here.
On what ground?
Suspicion of cheating.
How are you going to prove anything?
Look, Max, don't push your luck too far. I'm giving you a chance to leave peaceably.
Earp and Ellsworth, you got me for carrying a gun. I'm unarmed now.
You know, you may be the best dealer on the frontier circuit. But to me, you're just a stinking coward.
You can call me any name you want to, Marshal. But you can't arrest me, and you can't run me out of town.
You cheat. And sometimes you get caught at it. But you ain't got the guts to go without a gun even against an unarmed man.
Look, Marshal, I'm warning you. I don't...
Max, I do the warning around here. Something else I remember about you, too. You're left-handed, aren't you?
So?
So it figures you should be wearing a gun somewhere near your left hand.
Ow!
I've seen these before. You straighten out the arm and a spring shoves a gun down in your hand. Like I said, Max, you're a coward.
Let go of my arm, you hurt me! Ow!
It looks like you're gonna have to rest your gun hand for a while. Now, look, I don't like the idea of putting you in jail and having to feed you for 60 days. So how'd you like to leave town all of a sudden?
All of a sudden, it's a good idea.
Earp, you'll regret this.
Mr. Brandywine, I've regretted a lot of things, but not this, and neither will the rest of the citizens. Now, I want to tell you something. Don't you hire any more crooked gamblers.
You can't prove a thing.
Mister, I've had enough of you and people like you. That's all I'm going to say. Good morning.
And I've had about enough of it. He's meddling in things he's got no right to, and we're paying for it.
And I could show you my books. Business is a way off since he come in as marshal.
Well, complaining about it don't help. As near as I can see, nothing else does either. We tried to get rid of Earp before, remember? With men and Clements. But it didn't work. The way it looks to me, it's the way he says. Well, we leave Wichita.
Sit down. I got an idea. One that'll work.
You said that before.
And after he got rid of men and Clements, John Wesley Hardin came to town looking for trouble, and Earp fixed him, too.
Here's my idea. You know these frontier towns better than any of us. You probably know every gunslinger there is.
Maybe I do. But offhand, I don't know of one man who'd stand up to Earp.
How about two? Two gunslingers working as a team. Suppose you offer them $1,500 to get Wyatt.
$1,500?
We'd each put up a third. Isn't it worth it to run your place the way you want to? You'll make it back in 2 nights.
It's worth it to me.
You think you can find a couple of men who'd,
Not here. Let me think. It seems to me that Yeah. I know a couple of gunslingers who'd shoot their own brothers for $1,500. And after we get a pair of professionals, only one will be in sight. At least that's the way I do it.
I had something like that in mind. Come here. Collins hires the men, and they work it out any way they want. What do you say?
But suppose it don't work out.
It'll work out. Where do you figure you'll go?
Well, maybe Dodge City. Here, that's a pretty wide-open place. Or Abilene, if I have to. There's always a lot of guns for hire in a place like that. And I'm ready to go right now.
Tomorrow morning will be early enough, eh, Tom?
Yeah, I suppose it's all right.
Good boy. I knew you'd come up with something.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Murdoch.
Wyatt, you're in trouble.
What, again?
I mean it. They're plotting to kill you. If you don't do something about this, you're as good as dead.
Look, Mr. Murdoch, there have been plots against me ever since I came to Wichita. You know that.
Oh, Wyatt, but you don't understand.
Now, just relax. Come on, sit down. Got yourself all worked up. It's all part of the job.
Wyatt, this is serious. Believe me.
All right, who is it this time?
Well, Collins is one of them. I suspect Brandywine and Plummer in on it, too. They've always been pretty thick. They've got the same grievances.
Well, they do. If you mean crooked gambling by grievances.
Wyatt, you've been in any number of dangerous situations since you've been here.
Mr. Murdoch, I appreciate your concern. I'm grateful. Now, what's it all about?
This is a letter from an acquaintance of mine in Dodge City. A man I helped once when he was in trouble.
Hmm? Who is he?
I'd rather not say. He's not a good man, but he trusts me. That's why he wrote me this letter.
All right, I won't ask you again.
Well, Collins is in Dodge City. He's been trying to hire some gunmen. He's gone as high as $1,500.
That's a lot of money.
He hasn't been able to hire anybody yet. The job is too dangerous. You can guess what it is.
Well, I'm complimented.
You know it's only a matter of time before he finds someone. He's looking for a team. 2 men, not 1. Wyatt, you've got to do something.
All right, Mr. Murdoch. Let's assume for the moment that your informant is telling the truth. Now, what am I going to do about it?
Hire some extra deputies, bodyguards. The city will pay for it. I'll see to that.
What kind of a marshal goes around hiring a bodyguard?
Look, you're going to let your pride get in the way of your common sense?
Pride's got nothing to do with it. It's a matter of my own effectiveness. Now, how effective would I be as a marshal of Wichita if I hired somebody to guard me night and day?
That's not the point. The problem is to keep you alive so you can still function here.
No, you're wrong, Mr. Murdoch. If I did something like that, I couldn't function at all. If there's any bodyguarding to do, I'll do it. It's my job. I'm supposed to be the bodyguard of Wichita. I like the job, I like the city, and I like the people in it. Most of them.
Sometimes I'm sorry I ever asked you to come to Wichita.
No, I'm not sorry.
I don't know what more I can say, Wyatt. Except if there's anything I can do, I'll do it.
Well, you've already done a lot just by warning me, and I appreciate it. But as far as anything else is concerned, stay out of it. You know, Wichita needs you and your fine newspaper a lot more than it needs me.
I doubt that very much. Wyatt, maybe you can think of something better than the bodyguard idea, huh? Maybe?
Maybe. Thanks again.
Come on, we haven't got all day.
That's it.
Afternoon, gents. There's a law here that says...
Whiskey.
Oh, sure.
Say, boys, if you want to stay out of
2
trouble...
glasses.
All right. Would you boys mind taking a look at that sign over there?
That the same sign that's on the outskirts of town?
Yeah, that's right. It says you're not allowed to carry fire.
We can read.
Listen, we don't want any trouble in this place. The boss and the law don't get along too well as it is, and we...
Where is he?
Who, the boss?
Yeah.
I'll get him.
Where are they?
That's them over there.
Bring them in the office.
He says, would you mind seeing him in the office?
We don't mind. What do we owe you?
Nothing. It's on the house.
Step right in, gentlemen. After you. My name's Brandywine, James Brandywine. Sit down, gentlemen. What'll I call you?
It doesn't matter. We won't be here long enough for it to make any difference.
Well, now, what can I do for you?
The way I understand it, we can do something for you, friend.
That may be so. Excuse me for being so careful, but you understand, I want to be sure I'm talking to the right man.
You are. We met your friend Collins in Abilene. He hired us.
Oh, excuse me, just a minute. Collie? Collie!
Yes, sir.
Go next door and tell Tom Plummer I want to see him right away.
Yes, sir.
Plummer's one of my associates also. Oh, by the way, did Collins come with you?
Nope.
Why not?
How do I know? You're asking a lot of questions. Now, look, we came here to do a job for $1,500. Let's either get on with it or forget it.
Oh, gentlemen, please. It's just that, well, I don't want anything to go wrong.
Don't get nervous. Nothing is going to go wrong.
Yes?
It's me, Tom Plummer.
Oh, yes, Tom. Come in. Tom, shake hands with these two gentlemen. They're the men we've been expecting.
Howdy. How about this marshal? Where is he?
Oh, he's probably in his office. He generally is at this time of day. Tell me, do you have some sort of plan?
Yeah. The first part of it. To collect half the money.
Well,
I told you we'd probably be taking a long ride for nothing.
Wait a minute. We didn't come for nothing like he says. We came to do a job. You don't want us to do it, you pay us anyway. For our trouble. Now cough up with $750.
All right. All right. But we still want you to do the...
Wait a minute.
This...
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There you are, $750.
All right. Let's get to work.
Do you have some sort of a plan? If not...
Sure we have. I'm gonna walk out in the street and wait for him. You stay by that big front window, and when he gets close enough, let him have it.
All right. Unless one of you've got a better idea.
Well, that's good. That's real simple. We could have done that ourselves.
You still can. Which of you wants to meet him in the street?
I see what you mean.
Well, I think I'll go back to my place.
Marshal, there's a gunslinger outside, waiting right in the middle of the street.
What's he waiting for?
For you. He's dressed all in black and he's wearing 2 white-handled guns.
I guess I better go see what's on his mind, huh?
Shoot. Go ahead and shoot.
Shut up.
What's going on out there? They're laughing.
Let's go outside and see.
Virgil, you old son of a gun, honey. You look wonderful. How have you been?
Just fine, Wyatt. How about yourself?
Hey, where did you get that outfit?
Well, it wasn't easy, Wyatt. Believe me. How about you? Where'd you get that small cannon?
Well, that's my bunt line special. It's kind of awkward looking, isn't it? It's very effective for long-range shooting. Funny story how I got it. I'll tell you about it later. Hey, Morgan inside?
He ought to be out any second.
Hi, Wyatt.
Hey, Morgan. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
What's the matter, Mr. Brandywine? You look sick. But you're going to get a lot of rest. You'll be in jail a long time.
On what charge?
Attempted murder. Oh, but before you go, I'd like you to meet Morgan and Virgil Earp, two of my brothers.
No.
That's right. Well, they're new in town, Mr. Brandywine, so would you mind showing my brother where the jail is? Hey, Virgil, is anybody else in on this besides Brandywine and Collins?
There's a fellow named Plummer, saloon keeper. Said he was going back to his place.
I figured he was in on it.
Wyatt, has this fellow Collins showed up with anybody yet?
No, not yet. We'll be waiting for him when he does.
Hope it doesn't take too long. Morgan and I got work to do back in Dodge.
Yeah, I know. Come on, let's go see Mr. Plummer.
Who is it?
Collins, open the door.
This here is Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins?
No need for you to know what my friend's name is. I checked in as Luke McGuire. He's not registered.
Yes, I know. You're very careful.
Where do we find this fellow, Earp?
He patrols Douglas Avenue most of the night.
You pay us now?
No, my friend has the money. You'll get half first and the balance after.
How do we collect after?
Well, my partner will hand you the money through a back window.
Where's the back window?
I'll show you. Meet me on the corner across from Rowdy Cates in 5 minutes.
This is it.
Brandywine. Brandywine.
Brandywine.
Yeah?
It's me.
Who's me?
Collins. And I've got our two friends with me.
You have, huh? Good. Don't anybody move.
You heard the man. Don't move.
Well, what's this all about?
You'll find out in jail, Collins. I'll try to fix it up so you have a cell with your two friends, Plummer and Brandywine.
No, wait.
Go on, move. Morgan. Oh, yeah, here's the other one. Name's George Chance, alias George Wilson, alias... Well, anyway, he's wanted in Kansas City for armed robbery, McLennan County, Texas for a stage holdup, and Amarillo, Texas for the same thing. And it says here he's a very desperate character and will undoubtedly resist arrest.
Better send a correction on that, Wyatt. They didn't cause us any trouble at all.
It was that black outfit of yours. It'd scare anybody.
Well, you think so? Say, Wyatt, what about this $750? What do you think we ought to do with it?
Well, that's up to you, boys. As far as I'm concerned, you earned it.
We wouldn't feel right keeping that kind of money, Wyatt. We'll take out our expenses. You can have the rest.
Well, I don't want to.
Well, maybe you could do some good with it. Must be somebody around here who has a need for something. What are you laughing about?
I was just thinking. The school needs a couple of new classrooms.
Fine. That's a good cause if I've ever heard of one.
You know, I can just see Brandywine's face when he finds out what happened to his money. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this ought to cover your expenses. Look, how do you go about thanking somebody for saving your life?
You don't.
That's what brothers are for, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I hope I can return you the favor someday.
I hope you don't have to.
Come on, Morgan. We better get on our way. So long, Wyatt.
So long, Virgil. Thanks a lot for coming.
Don't drop your line.
I always should do that. Goodbye, Morgan.
Goodbye, Wyatt. Keep yourself out of trouble, will you?
No, I'll try. Of course, in my job, that's not too easy. Have a good ride.
We'll try to.
You'll hear from us.
Give my love home.
The Frontier Theater in 1875 was almost as rough and tough as the Frontier Saloon. Wyatt Earp, as Marshal of Wichita, found himself saddled with the job of keeping order at the town's music hall, where all kinds of shows and all sorts of characters bid for popular favor. Usually the shows were pretty good, but usually the cowboy audiences were full of liquor and bad-tempered. Their response to the drama was simple and primitive. If they liked the show, they threw money on the stage. If they didn't like it, they started a riot. But in the case of Jeff Pruitt and his carnival honky-tonk...
Come on, girls. The rehearsal's over. The whole show's over. Don't worry about it. You've got no right to close my show, Earp.
It isn't a show.
You don't know nothing about it. You're a Johnny Lowe. You know show expert.
I know enough to know what you were running. Your girls are underpaid and they were rolling drunken cowhands.
That's a lie.
When the music hall's owned by this city, you're closed, Pruitt.
I fight with my fists. I don't wear guns with two deputies to protect me.
If that's the way you want it, I'll take them off.
Not now. I want to get you all alone, where nobody can save you from a beating.
Okay, you arrange that, Pruitt. You fix it up real soon. I'll take him and the girls to the hotel. Archie, put up that sign.
Hey, aren't you going to have them fined for putting on an off-color show?
No, our job is to keep cowhands from being robbed, not to protect their morals.
Wyatt, we're going to have more trouble over at that music hall.
Jeff Pruitt?
No, it's that new company, the Harlow Players.
What's their problem?
Well, Harlow's been making the cowhands sore at him. Mr. Murdoch says you'd better come right away.
Show business. Had more trouble with the music hall than 10 saloons put together.
Now remember, my darling, a child's duty is to be honest, cheerful, and obedient.
Do I have to obey him, Mama? He is not my real papa.
Hush, my dear. You must obey Mr. Lash. I myself have vowed to love, honor, and obey him.
But he is cruel. He makes you cry.
The truth, from the lips of my own little girl. How could I have consented, in a moment of weakness, to marry Mr. Lash?
Well, you shouldn't have done it.
Hark! It is he. It is Mr. Lash.
Oh, Mama, I am afraid.
Do not be afraid.
So.
I find you whispering. What is it this time, Well, answer me.
Don't tell him nothing. If she tells on our little Mary, we're gonna...
It's too late for a subterfuge, Agatha. 1 hour ago, I intercepted a letter which this ungrateful child wrote to her maternal grandparents in Schenectady.
No.
Yes. Leave the room, Agatha.
Please, Mr. Lash, I beg of you.
Don't you leave, ma'am.
You stay with little Mary.
I am your husband. Leave the room.
Heaven help us.
Now, you ugly little fiend. I'll teach you to write lies about me.
It is true. You are mean and cruel to my Mama.
Oh, indeed.
Well, I can be meaner. I'll teach you what truly feels like. You have presumed to sneer at me. You have dared to write your maternal grandparents in Schenectady that I am a secret drunkard. You have spied upon me, you ungrateful child. Let me go!
Oh, thanks to this officer here.
I love my papa. I'm not crippled, and he doesn't spank me in real life.
You go on in and finish your show. I'll see there's no more trouble. Come on, take him inside. Come on, get in.
We've put on and suffered little children 100 times. I had no idea the audience here would react the way it did, Mr. Earp.
Well, you ever been out west before?
No.
You just don't understand cowhands, Mr. Harlow.
Just like other people, aren't they?
Sure, when they're sober. Trouble is that most of them are never sober. You see, Wichita's the end of a long cattle drive for most of them, and they, their stay here is their one big holiday of the year.
Oh, see.
Now, before your show opened, I had to close an all-girls show. They probably resented that.
What you're trying to say is I should have put on a more cheerful play.
Yeah, I guess that's what I want to say. You see, they don't care much for villains.
Well, then we're finished.
How's that?
I'm down to 2 sets. The one we used tonight and one for Death to the King. Most of tonight's audience demanded their money back.
Oh. You got financial troubles, huh?
I haven't told my wife, but they held our other sets and most of our costumes in Kansas City. Panic of 73 is still lurking in the wings, you know.
Can't you put on the other play?
I'm an even worse villain in that one.
Papa, can't Mama and I come in now?
Well, all right.
The dying swan, catch. Oh, it isn't proper. Papa should have caught me. You're a strange man.
Jeannie.
Don't scold her, hon. Jeannie's just putting that on, mister. She aimed herself straight at you.
Why, Papa, I did not.
Oh, it's all right, Jeannie. I like you, too. Well, Mrs. Harlow, your husband and I talked it over, and we decided you ought to put on Death to a King tomorrow night.
Well, yes, we'll put on the King,
Won't that start another riot?
Well, I hope not. Anyway, my deputies and I will be on hand.
It seems I have no choice.
That's right. Our company's financially embarrassed and down to 2 sets. Papa doesn't think Mama knows, but we both know.
Jeannie.
That's all right. I've been broke a few times myself.
You won't let those cowhands hurt my Papa, will you?
Jeannie, I give you my word of honor. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, sir.
The swooning princess.
Oh.
I fell right into the arms of the law.
You'd better fall right into the arms of Morpheus.
Yes, Mama. Good night, Mr. Earp.
Good night, Jeannie.
Good night.
She's very sweet. Good night.
Thank you.
Stupid cowhands. Yeah, they didn't get that actor away fast enough. Earp jumped him at the stage door.
When do we try it again, Jeff?
Well, tomorrow night, if Harlow's got the guts to put on another show. But no cowhands this time. Let them start the rumpus. And you boys grab Harlow, put him on a horse, and head for the Douglas Avenue Bridge. Earp will ride to the rescue, and we've got him.
Harlow again.
Wonder if that no-good child-beating murderer gets murdered, or does he murder the king?
He better get murdered.
Hi, White. Hi, Marshal.
All right, hold it down. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Last night, some of you folks out there in the audience took the play too seriously. Now, just in case you haven't read today's Eagle or were told by your bartender, I'm going to repeat a mild warning. Now, this stage up here belongs to Mr. Harlow and his actors, and nobody else, and that includes everybody out there. Now, if anybody tries to climb up on this stage except the actors, or tries to make any unnecessary noises, you're going to get buffaloed. The law says you'll stay in jail for 30 days. Now, me and my deputies are going to be sitting in the front row, so all of you just sit back, relax, and enjoy the play. And now,
the play. 6,000 men approached to seize my castle and my kingdom. And I, alone and deserted. My life is like this piece of cord. It had its beginning. It must inevitably have an ending.
Now, what could be fairer than that?
And yet, a king must sleep, restless with the burden of his own crown. For on this day, I did but hearken to such tales of woe from my poor subjects that death, not sleep, would such a blessing be. But hold, my wretched life is precious to my people. True, true. For when the last ruddy drop escapes the cup, what then? Moncrief is king. Aye, Moncrief, my nephew, so steeped in evil as to mock my name and make his own name a terror in the kingdom. Moncrief. His name to squeak like the gallows rope, like the screw that turns the rack. Moncrief. His name doth rhyme with grief, that word so cruel and so forlorn. But why do I think of this? For I am old. 'Tis far better to dodder and to drowse and to sleep.
Now, don't you go to sleep, King. No, Harlow's coming to dry gulch you. Why don't we beat him to the drum?
Beat him. Get on, get him right now.
He snores. The old fool snores. And this his last farewell to life. No battle cry, no gallant jest. Not even a seemly prayer. 'Tis well. For what is left of this life, I mean to nudge across the sticks with a bare bark.
Hey, King, wake up! Wake up, wake up. Come on, wake up! Wake up.
Snore by night, a toothless cackle by day. Ears lie cold in the very blood of him. Too long the frost has gathered on his beating heart. It labors feebly now in a sheet of ice. Well, old man, thou art mostly dead.
Quiet, quiet! If you people continue to act like this, we'll never have a theater in Wichita.
It's no use. We'll have to give them their money back again tonight.
Mr. Harlow, I know who's buying this now. We'll talk about it later.
Well, we sure are going to jail. Come on. Come on.
Don't shoot, Marshal.
Now, you were there, you saw what happened.
Yep.
I thought it was just cowhand stupidity. But the men that tried to grab Harlow tonight trail with Pruitt and his gang.
Simmer down, my
No,
friend.
not this time. I promised Harlow I'd protect him. I didn't.
You kept Jeff's men from giving him a good dose of tar and feathers.
That's not the point.
Now, Wyatt, whether Pruitt caused the trouble or not, Harlow is partly responsible.
How do you figure that?
You can't play Christopher Marlowe to a bunch of cowhands. I know the poor fellow's broke and his company's stranded here, but he should never have attempted death to the king.
That's still not the point.
Well, what is the point?
Handful of drunken cowhands and Pruitt's men are trying to close a music hall. That's the point.
Well, it seems to me they've succeeded.
Well, they can't let them get away with it.
What are you going to do?
If they do get away with it, I might as well turn in this star.
Wyatt, you're mad and upset.
You're darn right I'm mad and upset. I don't like giving my word to a man and then not being able to keep it. But the main reason is nobody puts anything over on me. I'm the marshal, and the marshal can't afford to let him get away with that. You know that. He's through.
All right, go ahead and arrest Jeff Pruitt. That show of his, your clothes was filthy. I'll back you up on that.
What's it gonna do? What good? The music hall would still be closed and Harlow and his actors would still be flat broke.
All right, we can take up a collection.
I've already done that.
Huh?
My deputies arrested 23 men tonight. I gave them the choice of kicking in $10 apiece or being arrested for disorderly conduct, so they all kicked in. $230 worth.
It's mighty irregular. Oh, but I approve. Yes, I do. I approve.
Thanks.
Well, isn't that enough to get Harlow and his company back to their next stand?
Wyatt, Mr. Harlow's here.
Oh, good. Send him in.
Come in, Mr. Harlow.
Mr. Harlow, I believe you've met Mr. Murdoch, the editor of the Wichita Eagle.
Yes, he gave me a very nice notice in his paper. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Harlow. I guess I'd better run along. You two will want to talk.
No, wait. I want you to hear what I have to say. Mr. Harlow, how much would it cost to get your troupe out of town?
Oh, no, we couldn't accept that. We'll find jobs and try to save another stake.
Well, this happens to be a free will donation made by the cowhands that tried to break up your show tonight. That sound better?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how much will it cost?
Well, $200 or $300 ought to pay our bills here and get us back to Kansas City.
Kansas City, huh? And what play would you do there?
The Tale of Two Cities.
By Charles Dickens.
Yes, I made the serial story into a play.
The audience like it?
Oh, they love it, Marshal. Our top box office attraction all through the East.
Well, if you had the sets, is there any reason why you couldn't play it here?
Here? After what happened
Now,
to
look, Mr. Harlow, I want to keep the music hall open. Now, wouldn't you like to have another chance at Wichita?
Frankly,
Frankly, Mr. Harlow is scared, and I don't blame him.
All right. There's your money.
Now, that's a sensible solution. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mr. Murdoch.
And, Wyatt, you'll feel better in the morning.
Sure. Mr. Harlow, what kind of a character do you play in Tale of Two Cities?
I play Sidney Carton, a great heroic role. I change places with the husband of the woman I love. I go to the guillotine in his stead. Do you think they'd boo me here for that?
I think Mr. Murdoch's probably right. Got to try it in Kansas City.
But you want me to play it in Wichita. Why?
For purely personal and selfish reasons, Mr. Harlow.
Still, why?
I took a licking tonight. I promised you'd finish your play without any trouble. My job, you can't afford to be licked.
Neither can I, Mr. Earp. You wouldn't have any objections, would you, if I used this money to fix up a set for the Dickens play?
I can't think of a one.
See you at the music hall. Tomorrow night.
Wyatt, wake up. Hey, take it easy. It's just me.
Did you find anything new on the saloon beat?
Yep. Pruitt got drunk over at Rowdy Cates and talked too much. He says he's going to let this new show run without any trouble, and then he's going to grab Harlow before the curtain goes down.
Oh, what's he got against Harlow?
Nothing. Except he figures that you're going after Harlow. He's bragging that he's going to bushwhack you. He's going to take your guns away and beat you up with his fists.
Hey, that's good. Almost too good to be true. Are you sure?
Rowdy Kate passed me the word. She hasn't lied to us yet.
I trust her. Go get Brick. We gotta plan this carefully.
Right.
Allie! Come, my dear. You have given life great courage. Give death an equal bravery. For death is nobler than life.
Allie!
I can bear it for myself, Mr. Carton, but for you.
No, my child.
Why must you sacrifice your life for them? Why?
Charles Darnay is a good man. I have loved his wife, Lucy, with the one pure affection God has granted me in this world. And their child.
Allie!
In sparing little Lucy's life, I gain a child of my own. Is all that not worth a few moments out there?
Let me go first, Mr. Carton.
No, my darling. You are friendless and alone. If you went first, I might lose you. His angels might hurry you away.
Oh, but I would wait. I promise, Mr. Carton. I love you.
How fortunate we are. We meet in prison, and by chance of numbers, we are together now.
Say you love me, Mr. Carton. Just a little.
More than a little. In the light of eternity, your soul should be bright and beautiful.
Beautiful?
The loveliest young lady who has come from France. And even I, a weakling, a wastrel, and a rogue. If my prayers be answered, I too shall be pleasing in his sight.
Oh, you will, you will.
Sidney Cotton.
But a few moments now, and I'll have you in my arms again. Think this of me. It is a far, far better thing I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest I go to than I have ever known.
Alec!
Oh. Marshal Earp, those men, they grabbed my papa. Stop them, stop them.
Get him off of there. You boys get these horses out of sight. Get down off of there. Our Earp will be along soon because a lot of people saw the way we went. And I want you to walk right around in a little circle in this road. And don't run out on us. If you do, we're going to shoot you down, understand?
Mr. Howell, glad to see you're not hurt.
I said I'd get you alone.
I'm sorry, Mr. Earp.
You're going to be a lot sorrier. Get his gun.
All right, Pruitt, it's your turn. Lift them, all of you.
Now, come on, drop him. Get him. Come on, get those guns down. Get him up. Get over here, all of you. Hurry up.
Are you going to shoot me, huh?
No. Keep your guns on the rest of them. Mr. Pruitt's first. You wanted a fist fight, didn't you?
Not with your deputy shooting me in the back.
Don't worry, they won't. You stay out of this.
Right.
Watch it.
This is what I've been wanting. Now get up.
You can't wait, can you? Come on, get up.
Come on, Pruitt.
Get up, Pruitt! Come on. Come on.
Swing. That's it.
Get up. You ain't hurt. Get up.
No, mister. You whipped him.
You're next. Push him out. Shove him over here.
No.
No.
Stop him. Stop him.
Come on. What's the matter? You heard Pruitt brag I couldn't fight with anything with my guns. Well, come on!
No, come to your senses, man. You'll kill him. Get out of it. This ain't my fight, Earp.
It is now.
Quiet, please, Mr. Earp.
You better get him over to Fabric's office. I'm sorry. Mr. Howell, I try to stay out of fistfights. Gun's less personal, and I don't get so mad. I can't fight with my fists or a gun. But if I had to fight you, I'd sure choose a gun.
How'd Tale of Two Cities go?
Oh, tremendous. I missed 5 curtain calls at least.
Great. You'll run forever. In Wichita, that means about 2 nights. You better climb aboard.
Aren't you riding back?
No. We'll take a little walk. I'll see you in town.
While Wyatt Earp was Marshal of Wichita, many Indian tribes like the Comanches, the Apaches, and the Sioux had refused to make peace with the United States government. This warfare was to reach its climax a year later when the Sioux and their allies massacred General George Custer and his men in the Battle of the Little Bighorn. But for many months prior to this tragedy, renegades were selling contraband rifles to the unpacified tribes.
Marshal Earp?
Yes, sir.
Captain Benteen, the 7th Cavalry.
What can I do for you, sir?
Well, here's a message from 2 Indian friends of yours. The Indian carrying it was wounded. Our patrol found him.
Oh, it's for Mr. Brother and Mr. Cousin. Sit down.
Thank you.
They've been very good friends.
We feel the same way about them, Mr. Earp. We've used them as scouts. Now they've been nabbed by the Hoss Daggett gang, if we've read the message right.
The Daggetts operate in Oklahoma territory, don't they? Wasn't the Army doing something about this?
We've signed peace treaties with the Cheyennes, the Pawnees, and the Osage. Washington doesn't want us to go into Oklahoma territory with troops. The Indians would resent it.
But it's all right for me to go in there, huh?
Well, that's why I'm here. The general wants to deputize you as a United States Marshal. Now, you'll need a good posse. The Daggetts never have less than 50 guns in their outfit. Now, this is merely an official request, not an order, Mr. Earp. Of course, if you feel that you lack the experience...
Captain, when you have friends that are in trouble, you try and help them. I was just wondering why Daggett grabbed him.
Well, we don't know, except that it must be big medicine. Hoss Daggett isn't holding the brother of Yellow Hand and the cousin of Many Battles without a very serious reason.
Well, Hoss is liable to get himself scalped.
Well, I'm glad you realize this isn't any 10-teepee affair, Mr. Earp. Your friends may have extremely valuable information. Also, we can't have Yellow Hand and Many Battles on the warpath. But, as I said, if you feel that a man with more experience...
No, I'll go. You got the paper deputizing?
Right here. The government will pay for your posse and all necessary expenses.
Good. I'll go tonight.
That soon? Well, the general's usually right. He says that when 2 smart Indians appeal to a white man for help, they usually pick the best one they know. Good luck, Mr. Earp.
Thank you, Captain.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Bring that back.
Oh, come on, Doc. Get out of the way, will you? These are heavy.
I know it's heavy. It's valuable, too. Set it down there, Wyatt. I want to talk to you.
Oh, now, come on. We've been through this before.
Yeah, I know. You're a pretty fast talker, Wyatt. I must say, the more I think about your idea, the less I like it.
What's going on, Doc? Moving?
Moving, he says. No, but I might as well be moving. I let this crazy man talk me out of $850 of good, fresh medicines.
Well, sounds like a story here.
No, it's nothing for publication. It's a government job. I'm taking this medicine into the Oklahoma territory.
He's not only committing suicide, he admits it.
Come on, let's hear it.
All right, Mr. Brother and Mr. Cousin are in trouble.
Who?
Well, they're 2 Indian friends of mine, and they got themselves nabbed by the Hoss Daggett gang.
Well, why all the medicine?
Well, I'm going to go in there disguised as a patent medicine doctor. It's the only way I can get into the Daggett camp.
Pretty risky to try and save 2 Indians.
I not only lose my medicine, but I also lose my good and former friend Wyatt Earp.
Oh, don't give me that stuff. You know this hogwash isn't worth a cent, and you know it. All the drug houses send them free samples.
Only 5% are free samples. Besides, who's going to believe you're a doctor?
You know, you look terrible.
I feel terrible. Well, stop that. That's the way he hypnotized me into agreeing to do this thing in the first place.
Don't move. Friend,
This is your lucky day. Yes, sir, come in a little closer. Now, this is your lucky day, sir, because I am going to give you absolutely free one large-size bottle of Dr. Livermore's kidney remedy. Oh, now, don't thank me, sir. No, sir. After all, I always say, what's money compared to a happy kidney? Oh, if I can save you, sir, what's the rest of it?
If I can save you, I will not have passed this way in vain.
Oh, yeah, if I can save you, I would have not have passed this way in vain.
That's good, Wyatt.
It would be very funny if it weren't so tragic. I've written columns about the Daggets, Wyatt. They're real bad people.
That's right. You tell them.
If you must go, take a posse.
Oh, no posse.
What did those Indians ever do to justify your risking your life?
Well, they tracked Bill and Ben Thompson in the bushwhacker country near Ellsworth, for them. They risked their lives.
I can hire Indians to track anybody anywhere for $5.
I ain't going to let you do it, Wyatt.
Well, there's nothing you can do to stop me. Well, sir, I've been deputized as United States Marshal, and I have the authority to seize any supplies that I deem necessary for the performance of my duty.
So you're going to beat me down with words again, huh?
Well, look, why don't you just consider it as a loan? If I have to sell any of that stuff to make it look legitimate, well, you'll be getting all the proceeds. That is, of course, providing that, as you say, that medicine is harmless.
What? Why, I'll take a dose out of each and every one of these bottles. It's 90% grain alcohol. Get me a spoon.
Never mind, I take your word for it. What's in the other 10%?
It's calomel and quinine. It won't cure anybody, but it won't kill them either.
Come on, let's get on with our loading. You want to help, Mr. Murdoch?
Wouldn't dare say no.
Be careful of the way you handle that one. It's full of laudanum.
Full of what?
Laudanum. It's a sleeping potion. Drop that and the whole county will go to sleep.
Well, that's good to know. Hey, how do I distinguish it?
You distinguish it by the white line on the outside of the box. And on the inside, the bottles are labeled Dr. Poster's Insomnia Remedy.
Well, I can't leave that one behind.
You ain't leaving anything behind.
Brother, still feel bad?
Yes. Stomach.
Why don't he try some of that whiskey?
Too sick. Mr. Daggett, you let me go for a doctor.
Oh, I've already sent for one. It's a long trip. First you get the misery's cousin, and now brother. You know, a suspicious man who wasn't your friend might think you were fooling.
No. True.
Time's awful short. You're holding up a big deal on them rifles. Anything wrong with the deal, cousin?
You say, go north. Talk to Sitting Bull. Tell Sitting Bull you have many rifles.
Good rifles. Winchesters.
But Sitting Bull, friend with my cousin, many battles. He is friend with his brother, Yellowhead. But Sitting Bull, not your friend, Mr. Daggett.
We've been over all that before. I never cheated Sitting Bull. If he bought cheap trade guns that blew up, he didn't buy them from me.
Sioux people angry. You cheat them, I pay. He pay.
I told you the rifles are good.
You show me rifles, Mr. Daggett.
You calling me a liar?
No. I asked to see rifles 2, 3 days now I ask.
How do I know you'll go through with your part of the deal? You might tell the soldiers.
We are two. Long way from our people. You have many fighter. We don't want to die.
All right. I'll show you the rifles.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Ain't you Doc Sybil?
Old friend, name's Dr. Turner, but I'll be very happy to help all of you.
You carry Madam Porter's female tincture?
Madam Porter's tincture?
Yeah.
No, I got the elixir, but not the tincture. Oh. Your wife in a dilapidated condition?
No wife, Doc.
Oh.
Let me see the elixir.
You want to see the elixir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, friend. I got everything here you need. You got to open the boxes, though. I got to keep them clothes banging around there in the road a little bit.
Sure.
Let's see here. Ah, here we are, first try. Got a lot of boxes there. I think you'll like it.
this is strong as a tincture?
Oh, it's much more powerful. Yes, sir, friend. That's 90% pure grain alcohol.
Well, give her a taste.
It'll cost you 50 cents for it.
In advance?
Well, I'm not running a charity here. No, sir, friend.
Well, it better be good.
Yeah, thank you.
That's fine.
I knew you'd like it.
I'll try one.
I'll be very happy. I've got more in advance, man. Oh, I got a lot in advance, man. Well, anyway, I've been thinking of heading in the Oklahoma territory. I understand they got, well, quite a spell of the collar morbus in the nation.
Yep. Got to spell the Daggets, too.
The Daggets, what's that?
Old man Horse Daggett and his crowd.
They sound like outlaws.
I'm a great respecter of you traveling doctors. That's why I'm warning you. Stay wide of the Daggets.
Where do they hang out?
Over in the dry gulch section, just over the line. You ought to go straight to Wewoka on the Cherokee Trail.
I sure will, friend. I'm not looking for any trouble. I sure do thank you for warning me. Well, I guess I better be getting on.
Stop him!
Oh!
Hold up! Who are you?
I'm Dr. Turner. I'm selling medicines.
Just a patent medicine peddler.
So he says. Better take him in for Hoss to look at.
That's a nice team of horses he's driving.
Yeah.
You better be what you claim to be, Doc. Old man Daggett don't like to be lied to. Come on, get him going.
I hope you get real sick. Go on, help yourself.
Hey, cut it out. This one's mine.
Oh, no, we met for first pick. Turn loose of that horse.
I'll be turned
if I will.
Next time, I'll put one through your skull. Now, water them horses good and tie them up. They're mine. What do you call yourself? I'm Dr. Turner. Daggett's the name. Horse Daggett. Ain't you got no better sense than to drive that dry gulch after dark? No, I guess not.
Well, it's not bad stuff, Doc.
Quit that! You might be drinking poison, you fools. Go on, clear out of here. We're not as bad as we're made out. Well, that's real nice to know. If you're a real doctor and you just strayed in here by mistake, you can have your team back. And I'll make the boys pay for the medicine they took. Sounds fair enough. Why, sure. I gotta be awful careful, Doc. See, I'm kind of like your patients. I hanker to keep on living. I can't say I blame you for that. Speaking of patients, I've got a sick friend on my hands. He's got miseries in his stomach. Maybe I can help him. Of course, you can't never tell about Injuns. Fella might be faking. Your friend Indian? Sorry, that lets me out. How's that? Don't like Indians, I won't treat them. Yeah? Well, you're gonna like this one. And you're gonna doctor him. I do a lot of business with Injuns, Doc. Get up. My friend's in the shack. He's got a pal with him. You're paying a call, Doc. I'll pay it. I'm not gonna like it. What's wrong with him? Cholera morbus, I think. Can't be appendix. Stomach's not rigid. I better go get some medicines. You sure he ain't just putting on? Look, like I told you, I don't like Indians, but this one's sick. How sick? Well, I don't know. What do you expect, a complete prognosis in 2 minutes? Take it easy, Doc. I just want for brother to get well. We've got a deal pending on it. Well, I don't care nothing about your deal, but if you want this man back up on his feet, you're going to have to do like I tell you. Sure, Doc. Sure. Now, just let me get my medicine.
Guard,
Sleep. All sleep except men on outposts.
Good. Now, Mr. Brother not really sick, huh?
Ne.
Si, Simmons. Not because si calpi.
He says he knew our friend Mr. Earp would come. He's happy.
Sigapi?
Sikalpi.
Sikalpi.
Sistu iu, it's gone dagat waganasi.
He wants to know when we kill Daggett. Get away from here.
Well, you tell him I haven't worked out a plan yet. But he should still play sick, but not so sick. And that when Daggett comes, he should stand up but not be able to walk. You understand?
Ate bialto baka haitso Daggett piano.
Piano. Mosi kalpi stisma nama.
He wants to know where your gun at.
You tell him I got him hid in the wagon. And you also tell him we can't shoot our way out of here. There are too many men. We'll have to use some kind of trick.
Nagalim Bacaldo. Legentraisen Waganasi.
Waganasi.
Waganasi. I'm going to try and get some shut-eye. I'll be back first thing come sunup. You men try and get some sleep.
Tehome.
Tehome.
Tehome. My good friends.
Hey, Doc. What you doing? None of your business. If you must know, I'm trying to find the right drug for your Indian friend. You men sure mess things up. I don't need to get sore, Doc. How is brother? Well, he's improving. Just let me alone. I think I could get him cured in a few days. All right, Doc. I'll turn in. That's how much I trust you. You better trust me. Another 6 hours delay, and brother had been a dead Indian. Gosh, Doc. Thanks. Good night. Doc in there?
Yeah, he's in there.
Hey, he does feel better. I told you he did. Come on. Sit up. See if you can walk.
You want huh?
Awful weak.
But we thank you for bringing good doctor. We make deal.
Good. How soon will brother be able to ride a horse?
Couple days.
Not soon enough. Yanehe. But we could travel north in wagon with good doctor.
You could, but you won't.
Hey, that's a good idea.
It's no idea at all. In the first place, I don't travel with Indians. In the second place, I'm heading south, not north.
You're heading where I say, Doc. Brother and cousin have important business north.
Now, don't be stupid. I'm not going to go...
Shut up, Doc. Might be a lot simpler if you fellas took that wagon without him.
No. Mr. Brother too sick. May need doctor. We wait.
Oh, no. We've wasted too much time already. Doc will go with you. I'll send a couple of boys along to make him behave.
Good. We start.
Giving you a break, Doc. Brother and cousin get to where they're going, you can have your team and wagon. If you act real nice, you'll still be alive.
Thanks.
All right, let's get brother in the wagon.
No.
All right, fellas, get that blanket fixed. Help brother in that wagon. Come on, brother. Up you go. Up. Jack, you ride inside. Ollie, ride your horse an outside guard. Cousin, you'll drive. Doc will ride up front with you. Go on, get in the wagon. Don't worry about Doc. If he gives you any trouble, Jack will give him a good pistol whipping.
Doctor's smart man, Mr. Daggett. He knows this only way he stay alive.
What's the matter with you?
I just want a drink. Do you mind? It's 90% alcohol.
Just one. That's enough. Get him out of here. Oh.
thought he got my only bottle. Well, here's the horse Daggett.
No, you don't. Give me that. Smells like good liquor.
Hey, hold it up there. Hey, Jack, give me a drink of that.
We don't want none of this. Smells better than it tastes.
I'll be the judge of that. Gimme.
Come on, give it back. You don't want to get drunk in the job. I'll tell Hoss. Give me that bottle.
All right.
Come on, let's get going. We got a long way to go. Come on. Push it.
That laudanum worked.
He sleep nice.
Slow down. I want to take care of Ollie.
Stop. I gotta catch that horse.
Why you not shoot a horse? Never did nothing to me. Neither did him. Come on. Let's get him off the wagon. So, brother.
Take his gun, Ned. All right, get him going.
That's Ollie's horse. Something's happened, men. Let's go.
Come on.
Those dirty double-crossing red rattlers. They must have been in cahoots with that Doc all the time.
Doc and the Indians. Kill him!
We can't outrun them. What can we make a fight? Up gully, we shoot from rocks. Go ahead and turn them.
Get down.
Doc! Doc! You and them Indians, come out with your hands up! All right, they don't think we're going to fight. Let them work in close, and then start shooting slow and steady.
You not shoot?
No, this is going to be your fight.
We thank you.
Let them have it. This one's mine. Bueno. Let his men carry him away. I think we can go the rest of the way at a slow trot. Come on.
Captain, brother, cousin, you all right? We got a report of gunfire across the line. Was that you?
Yeah, we had a little run-in with the Daggett gang. They're camped in the dry gulch down their ways.
They have many rifles they plan to sell.
Sell where?
Up north, Sitting Bull.
Thank you. That's all we need to know. Good job, Marshal Irvin.
Forward!
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it. The legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp!